How to survive your first year in color guard. Have you ever seen one of the half-time shows at your high school's football game and noticed all of the people who are spinning and tossing objects like flags, rifles, and sabers? Well, the people who do this are in what is called color guard, and although they are part of the band, they go by a different set of rules and standards. If you are interested in trying out for color guard this year, take advantage of the survival suggestions offered in this article. Steps. 1. Self-evaluate. Before you even try out for color guard, you need to be aware of all that goes into it, and you need to decide if this is something that you will enjoy. Many people go into color guard without even knowing what it is all about. If you enjoy dancing, being a part of a team, and can endure long practices, this is perfect for you. 2. Gain endurance. Believe it or not, color guard is a sport. They go to competitions with the band, and even do competitions on their own as winter guard. The best thing you can do before even trying out is to develop your endurance. You can do this simply by jogging then running if you are not already in shape. Now, it is not required by most color guards that you are physically fit, but it will help you so much during all of the practices and games. Another thing to do is to strengthen your wrists. Without strong wrists, you could possibly get them injured by all of the flag work and have to wear a brace for a while. 3. Go to auditions. Before you are in color guard, you will obviously need to try out for it. Don't be afraid to audition if you don't know the basics of flag. The typical way they do auditions is take 4 days to teach you the basics of flag work and teach you a short dance routine. On the 5th day, they will have you audition with a few other girls by doing what they taught you to do. The main thing they are looking for is not if you do it perfectly, but if you are teachable and really care about being in color guard. 4. Go to practice. So you made the team? Good for you. Now the hard part begins, practice. For the first few weeks, typically during the summer, you will be practicing basics and developing endurance. This is usually done separate from the rest of the band until much later in the summer. Be prepared for some yelling and try not to let it bother you. Counting during routine run thus will help you a lot. 5. Go through band camp. This is like practice X 100. After you have basically mastered the basics and have as much endurance as you are going to get, it is time to learn the routine for the show. That is what is done at band camp. There will be times when you are just with the color guard and times when you are learning positions on the field with the rest of the band. Make sure that you always have water, sunscreen, and a light snack on you. Another little warning for you, the very first time you do part of the routine with the band, don't let the drums or other instruments catch you by surprise. 6. Perform at football games. This is where the fun begins. After marching in, you will be in your own section of the stands with the band. This is just a fun time for color guard people because they don't have to worry about playing an instrument. There are usually little dances that you do in the stands while certain songs are played. If so, the older members of color guard will show you. Halftime is your time to shine, so enjoy it. Many people get nervous when they first see all of the fans in the stands when they are on the field. Just remember that all of those people are just family, friends, and fellow students. You have worked too hard to not enjoy this. 7. Perform at competitions. In this, you are basically doing the same thing as you would for a halftime show, but you will need to pay a little more attention to details. Even things as simple as how you step or facial expressions will need to be considered. Many of these judges have been in the band world for quite a while and have an eye for details. Don't let this bother you though, just remember everything you have been taught. Also, if you run into some competition, don't be mean. Show some class by being nice to all of the competition. 8. Deal with drama. You may run into some drama along the way. Make sure you are not the one causing it. Even if you are really miffed at a fellow member, don't do something stupid like mess with their belongings. Not only will you get in trouble, but band directors like to punish the color guard as a whole so that the other members will make sure it doesn't happen again. If you are being bothered by someone else in the band and it is threatening you in any way, don't just allow it to continue. You need to either talk to the band director, color guard instructor, or your parents. 9. Breathe to self-calm. Anyone can learn how to spin a piece of equipment. However, when breath is incorporated into the work you are given, it can make it much more consistent and graceful. Breathing also helps to calm you down, so whenever you have a chance to take a breath in between segments or right before a show, take deep and slow breaths to regain your calm. When you're nervous, you are much less likely to do well. Tips: if you mess up during a game or competition, don't sweat it. Just get back into the routine as soon as possible. You will get frustrated, just take a deep breath and try again. If you don't get it today, just keep practicing. And again, ask questions and go to older members. Be confident in what you are doing. If a new piece of work or move seems difficult, get help from an experienced member. Also, don't be afraid to ask if you're unsure of something. If you are struggling with a certain flag move or would like to get in some extra practice, ask if you can bring home a practice flag. When you drop in any type of competition, and it's almost sure you will, recovery is key. You can earn points back for recovering well. Fake out your audience and make them believe you know what you're doing, no matter how confused and lost you may be. That said, if you mess up or drop in a practice, get back into it very quickly to practice smooth and efficient recoveries in advance. No matter what, keep smiling. Don't compare yourself to older, more experienced members. They are not at the same level as you are, and have most likely been doing this for years. Most color guards wear gloves. It is best to always use them during practice to get used to them and to make sure you can still do your flag work. Better prepare yourself for band camp by going on runs every day for a few weeks before it starts. This will make everything easier for you and there will be less of a chance of exhaustion. You will get hit by your equipment. Whether it's yours or someone else's, be prepared. You should be fine, although if it's major, go talk to your director. Otherwise, just keep performing and practicing. Warnings: when tossing anything, especially in the wind, there is a large chance of getting hit. Being afraid of your equipment makes it worse. To help fix this problem, push your release hand in the opposite direction that the wind is blowing, and if you do it right, the flag will come right back to you. It may seem obvious, but don't spin in your house unless there's an approved spacious area without breakable objects like low lamps or big windows, like a gym. Why you have one in your house is beyond me, or big basement. After your first year, if you simply don't think this is for you, then just don't audition next year. Many girls feel forced to stay in color guard after the first year. If you decide not to try out again, talk to your color guard and don't just quit. Explain why you don't think it's for you, and hopefully you can leave on good terms with everyone.